In this video, I'm going to walk you through 17 of the best Italian movies and series on Netflix. Plus, I'll show you how to find Italian content in any country, match the right movie to your level from A1 to C2, and turn your Netflix session into a powerful language learning session. And don't worry about taking notes, I've done that for you. If you would like to get a checklist of all the Italian movies and shows on Netflix, just click on the link in the description below to download your free copy. Pronti? Are you ready? Iniziamo. Let's get started. Ciao, I'm Michelle. Yes, that's Michelle with one L. And even though I'm named after my nonno, I didn't learn Italian until I was an adult. Now I help thousands of students around the world, just like you, do the same, using my unique 80-20 method. So if you want to learn Italian, maybe connect with your Italian heritage, or just have more authentic travel experiences in Italy, you're in the right place. By the way, if you're not sure what your current Italian level is, be sure to take my free Italian level test right here before starting your next Netflix marathon. It will help you to decide which movies are best suited to your needs. Now let's take a look at the best Italian movies on Netflix for beginners, A1 to A2. This first group of movies and series is perfect if you're just starting out in learning Italian. The dialogues tend to be a little slower and simpler, making it easier to follow along, especially with subtitles turned on. And if you're looking to make your movie session even more effective, don't miss my Intrepid Italian for Beginners course. It's a fun and engaging way to fast track your learning. More details in the description below. Okay, the first show on Netflix to watch is
Pimpa.
This beloved Italian cartoon series for children is designed for kids, which means the episodes are short and there's no complicated grammar or confusing slang. The star of the show is Pimpa, an adorable white dog with bright red spots who behaves like a curious little girl. Together with her mustached owner, Armando, and her duckling friend, Olivia, Pimpa goes on sweet, whimsical adventures around the world. This lovely character was created in the 1970s by the Italian cartoonist Altan, who originally invented it for his daughter. The result was a series packed with charming stories, everyday vocabulary, and useful phrases you'll hear in everyday conversations, like
Fare un riposino.
to take a nap, or
Non si sa mai.
you never know. It's the perfect way to start memorizing a few words and expressions, and I promise, Pimpa's cheerful world will steal your heart. The next series you can watch on Netflix is
Guida astrologica per cuori infranti.
Based on the novel by Silvia Zucca, this light-hearted show follows Alice, a 30-something woman employed as a production assistant at a local TV station. Although she's super capable, her life isn't going exactly as planned. Her job offers no room for advancement, and her ex is starting a family with someone else. But one day she meets Tio, a charismatic astrology enthusiast who offers Alice life advice based on the stars, totally changing how Alice approaches relationships and new encounters. This series is set in the beautiful Piemontese capital, Turin or Torino. This series is light, fun, and full of easy-to-follow dialogues. There's no tricky regional slang or confusing accents, just relatable everyday vocabulary, plus some TV vocabulary. Each episode is titled after a zodiac sign in Italian and follows Alice's hilarious, heartwarming journey as she navigates awkward romantic encounters, meets quirky characters, and grows personally. Speaking of which, to learn more about how to talk about zodiac signs in Italian, make sure to watch my video lesson right here. The next Italian movie on Netflix to watch is
Sotto il sole di Riccione.
Taking place in Riccione, a popular coastal town on the Riviera Romagnola, one of Italy's favourite seaside getaways, facing the Adriatic Sea. This movie captures the essence of a classic Italian summer holiday. The story follows a group of people as they navigate new relationships, flirty romances, and a few emotional twists, all against the backdrop of sun-soaked days at the beach. Expect the classic cast of characters from the
Bagnino sciupa femmine.
womanizing lifeguard to the
Imbranato.
Claude trying to win over his best friend, and the anxious, overprotective mum who finds love again. You'll pick up everyday Italian as spoken by young Italians, including useful expressions for travel, accommodation, and making plans. The soundtrack is also a welcome bonus, featuring famous songs like
Felicità puttana.
literally whore happiness, and Riccione, both of which will instantly transport you to a sun-drenched beach, Vespa rides and all. And if you enjoyed this movie, there's also the sequel,
Sotto il sole di Amalfi.
The next Italian movie on Netflix is
L'incredibile storia dell'Isola delle Rose.
Get ready for a fascinating and quirky true story. This Italian movie on Netflix tells the bizarre but real tale of Rose Island, the independent republic built in 1968 just off the coast of Rimini. At the heart of the story is Giorgio Rosa, a young eccentric engineer with a passion for construction and a bold, seemingly impossible plan to build his own island just outside the Italian waters and declare it a microstate, complete with its own language, Esperanto, and currency. Pure Italian genius, right? Of course, the Italian government wasn't exactly thrilled about a new autonomous island popping up off the coastline. Now, this movie is fun, light-hearted, and packed with casual dialogues, with some legal and political terms sprinkled throughout, such as
Interrogazioni parlamentari.
parliamentary inquiries,
Montare un caso.
to build a case, and
Concessioni balneari.
but nothing too overwhelming. Additionally, the charming Bolognese accent gives the film a distinctive, cozy feel without making it difficult to follow. The next Italian film on Netflix is
Parenti serpenti.
This dark comedy is directed by the great Mario Monicelli and challenges the stereotype that Italian families are always close-knit and happy. In fact, it takes a hilarious, though a bit uncomfortable look at the complexities of family dynamics. Set in Sulmona, a picturesque town in the Abruzzo region, famous for its confetti or sugared almonds, the story follows an elderly couple who gather their 4 children and their families for Christmas. Everything seems to be going fine until the parents announce they no longer want to live alone and absolutely refuse to be sent to a nursing home. Instead, they decide it's up to their children to figure out who will take them in. That's the spark that sets off a chain of events and hilariously awkward family moments, leading to an extreme final decision. The title, Parenti Serpenti, is a common Italian saying to describe poisonous family relationships. As for the language, the movie is quite easy to follow, even though you might catch a few dialect terms, especially from the elderly mother here and there. Plus, you learn some fantastic Italian expressions like
Un culo che fa provincia.
a butt so big it could be its own province, and
Mangiare come un cassonetto.
to eat like a dumpster. Are you enjoying this guide? Make sure you download your free PDF checklist, and I've shared a link to that in the description below. Now let's move on to the best Italian movies on Netflix for intermediate learners. That is B1 to B2. Now, these films will help you dive deeper into the language and culture while still being enjoyable to watch. You'll hear slightly more complex language and dialogues that move at a slightly quicker pace, striking the perfect balance between pushing your skills further and making you feel accomplished for what you've already learned. Take a look at this first one.
Arrivano i prof.
This fun movie takes us into the world of Italian high schools. More precisely, it's set in the worst performing school in all of Italy, the one with the highest number of students failing their exams. But here's the idea. To avoid shutting down the school, the headmaster hires the country's worst and most unconventional teachers, hoping they might just save the day. From a history teacher obsessed with Julius Caesar, who's failed his own teaching qualification exam 13 times, to a free-spirited hippie math professor, this quirky team of teachers somehow managed to turn things around, showing that in the end, it's not just about qualifications, it's about passion, creativity, and plenty of heart. Watching Arrivano i prof will not only make you laugh, but it will also teach you useful everyday language, some fun phrases, and a few school-related terms like
provveditore,
superintendent and
scrutini di fine quadrimestre.
end-of-term evaluations. The next Italian show you can watch on Netflix is actually a series called
La legge di Lydia Poet.
Now, if you're a fan of historical drama with a strong female character, La legge di Lydia Poet is a must-watch. Based on the true story of Italy's first female lawyer, this series takes us through Lydia's fight against societal norms and gender discrimination in late 1800s Turin. We follow her as she's disbarred and stubbornly continues her work, solving murder and homicide cases, all while battling for her right to practice law, even facing opposition from her own brother. And although this TV character takes a few liberties compared to the real Lydia Poet, the essence of her fight for justice and equality is brilliantly brought to life. The dialogues feature well-articulated standard Italian, although the speech can be a bit softer and more subdued at times, which may add a slight challenge for your ears. You'll also pick up some terms from the legal world, including
Iscritta all'ordine,
registered with the Bar Association,
abilitazione,
qualification,
sentenza della Corte,
court ruling, and
esercitare.
to practice law. The next Italian movie on Netflix is
Inganno.
inspired by the British series Gold Digger. This Italian drama explores the complex dynamics of a relationship with a significant age gap, along with the social stigma that often comes with it when the older partner is a woman. One powerful phrase you'll pick up early on in episode 2 is,
E se fosse stato l'inverso?
what if it was the other way around? Perfectly capturing this idea. The story is set against the stunning backdrop of the Amalfi Coast and follows Gabriella, a successful hotel owner in her 60s who falls for Elia, a charming young man. Their instant connection quickly becomes a passionate affair, but things get complicated when she introduces him to her children. Reactions range from suspicion to reluctant acceptance, and the secrets about Elia's past slowly come to light. Gabriella is faced with some difficult decisions. The characters speak at a comfortable pace and use clear, standard Italian without overly complicated structures. This makes it much easier to follow along with and get used to how Italians really structure their sentences. And to learn more about Italian word order and sentence structure, make sure you watch my video lesson right here. Moving on to the next Italian movie on Netflix, which is
Fabbricante di lacrime.
This Italian romance drama is based on the best-selling young adult novel by the mysterious and still anonymous Italian author Erin Doom. It tells the moving story of Nicca and Rigel, two orphans adopted by the same family. Nicca is sweet and sensitive, while Rigel is a tough soul with a talent for music and some heavy emotional scars. As they grow closer, they realize their bond goes beyond simple friendship, and what follows is a turbulent journey as they confront painful memories, navigate new emotions, and discover what it truly means to love and be loved. The Italian used in this movie is natural, clear, and packed with heartfelt expressions, making it a perfect pick for intermediate learners who want to get a real feel for how Italians communicate deep emotions. Along the way, you'll learn beautiful words and phrases like
Stare alla larga.
leave alone,
Lieto fine.
happy ending, and
Cuori spezzati.
broken hearts. The next Italian movie on Netflix to watch is
Quattro metà.
This charming romantic comedy plays with the idea of soulmates by showing what happens when four singles are matched in multiple romantic scenarios. The story begins with a married couple who, in an effort to challenge the belief that each of us has only one true soulmate, recount how four of their friends met during a dinner on a terrace. From there, the film unfolds into a series of parallel realities, each showing a different romantic match between the four of them. Who pairs off with whom? Is it true that
Gli opposti si attraggono.
Opposites attract? Or is love more likely between similar souls, as in the Italian proverb,
Chi si somiglia si piglia.
those who resemble each other end up together, says. To learn 30 of the most popular Italian proverbs that Italians use every day, make sure you watch my video lesson right here. Now, while the dialogue is generally accessible, some characters often speak with a Roman accent and use expressions from the local dialect. For example, you might hear,
Regà,
this is a casual form of ragazzi, meaning guys. You might also hear,
te guarda,
instead of,
ti guarda.
meaning he or she looks at you, or,
Che ci sa consigliare qualcosa?
instead of,
Ci sa consigliare qualcosa?
can you recommend something to us? Are you enjoying this guide? Make sure you download your free PDF checklist, which includes all the movies and series from this video. Just click on the link in the description below this video. Now let's move on to the best Italian movies on Netflix for advanced learners, that is C1 and C2. Now these movies are perfect for advanced learners who are comfortable with fast-paced dialogue. At this level, you'll be exposed to more complex sentence structures, more subtle cultural references, and regional dialects, getting a real unfiltered taste of how Italians actually speak in different parts of the country. The first Italian movie is
La Dea Fortuna.
La Dea Fortuna is a touching and beautifully crafted story about love, family, and second chances. Arturo and Alessandro have been together for 15 years, but their relationship is starting to show some cracks, and the spark they once had seems to be slowly fading. Everything changes when Anna Maria, a close friend, leaves her 2 young children in their care for a few days. What starts as a temporary arrangement soon becomes a life-changing experience that shakes up their lives. While most of the dialogue is in clear standard Italian, you'll catch a few Roman dialect expressions like
Non c'è sta,
instead of,
non c'è.
meaning there isn't, or
Remettete,
to say,
rimettiti.
meaning put it back on, and
Sape,
for,
sapere.
meaning to know. The next Italian movie on Netflix is
La vita davanti a sé.
starring the legendary Sofia Loren. This film tells the story of Madame Rosa, an elderly Holocaust survivor living in Bari in southern Italy. To make ends meet, she takes care of the children of other prostitutes in her little apartment. One day she's robbed by Momo, a young Senegalese orphan who, ironically, ends up living with her. Despite their rocky start and all their cultural differences between them, Rosa and Momo form an unexpected and touching bond. From a language perspective, the dialogues are rich in everyday colloquial expressions and regional terms. Listen out for words like
Beh,
this is a very southern way of saying so what, and
vattene,
a southern version of
vattene.
meaning go away. Additionally, some characters speak Italian with a slight foreign accent, giving you an even more authentic glimpse into how Italian sounds across different communities and backgrounds. The next Italian show to watch on Netflix is actually a series, which is
Il gatto pardo.
for lovers of classic literature and sweeping historical dramas. Il Gattopardo is a real gem. Now, this recent Netflix adaptation of Giuseppe Tomasi di Lampedusa's ironic novel brings to life the story of Don Fabrizio Corbera, a Sicilian nobleman trying to navigate the social and political upheaval of mid-19th century Sicily. Since the characters belong to the aristocracy and the story is rooted in the 1800s, the Italian spoken in the series is refined and formal, at times quite different from the casual, everyday language you'd normally hear. That's what makes Il Gattopardo an excellent challenge for advanced learners looking to stretch their skills a little bit. You can expect to hear more elaborate sentence structures and old-fashioned words like
Scuri,
meaning shutters,
maneggio,
meaning scheme of maneuver, and
pappa molle.
Meaning wimp. You'll also notice a lovely Sicilian accent weaving through the dialogue, along with the occasional Sicilian dialect expressions like
Aspettando a tia.
waiting for you, or
M'avete a scusare.
you must excuse me. To learn more about the Sicilian language and how it differs from standard Italian, make sure you watch my video lesson right here. Okay, the next Italian movie on Netflix I absolutely love and you must watch is
Benvenuti al Sud.
This hilarious movie is an Italian remake of a French hit of a similar title, Welcome to the Sticks, and follows the story of Alberto, a manager at the post office who dreams of transferring to Milan to please his very demanding wife. In a desperate move, he fakes a disability to boost his chances, but the plan fails. As punishment, he's sent to work in a tiny village in the Campania region, deep in the south of Italy. Alberto is convinced he's heading into the land of crime and chaos, and even brings a bulletproof vest with him. But as he gets to know the locals, he quickly realizes that the south isn't what he expected at all. Instead of danger, he finds warm hospitality and a close-knit community that slowly steals his heart. This movie is packed with colourful colloquial expressions and thick southern accents, making it a fantastic challenge for advanced learners. There's even a brilliant scene where Alberto's new colleagues explain some of the quirks of their local dialect, a real treat for language lovers. And if you enjoyed the story, there's even a sequel too, called Benvenuti al Nord, Welcome to the North, where the cultural clash moves in the opposite direction. The next Italian show to watch on Netflix is
Baby.
Inspired by real events, the scandal of
Le baby squillo dei Parioli.
or the baby prostitutes of Parioli. Baby follows the double lives of two high school girls, Chiara and Camilla, living in the wealthy Parioli district in Rome. Beneath the surface of wealthy families and elite private schools, this series explores a much darker world of troubled teenagers navigating absent parents and a desperate search for their place in a complicated world. This is a great Italian series for advanced learners, as it's full of youth slang such as
Il tipo.
the guy or dude, or
Una roba.
meaning a thing used casually instead of,
Cosa.
or the colourful.
Li mortacci tua.
This is a classic Roman curse, which literally translates to your dead relatives. The characters often speak fast, making it a great exercise for your ears, but you may need to turn on their subtitles. The next Italian film on Netflix to watch is called
Si accettano miracoli.
Now, have you ever dreamed of leaving everything behind and starting fresh in a remote Italian village? If so, this is the perfect Italian movie to watch on Netflix. This heartwarming comedy tells the story of a successful company manager played by the popular comedian Alessandro Cianni. After being fired and landing in jail for punching his boss, Fluvio is forced to return to the peaceful southern village of his childhood, where his brother now serves as the parish priest. Surrounded by slow village life and old traditions, Fluvio tries to help the struggling church by coming up with a wild story that draws national headlines and even sends the Vatican officials straight to the village. This movie is ideal for advanced Italian learners, especially those interested in regional language, as the dialogues are rich in southern Italian accents and dialectal expressions. You'll hear phrases like
Questo è un problema.
instead of saying
Questo è il problema.
this is the problem, and
Movitevi.
a southern form of
Muovetevi.
meaning hurry up, and
Vieni a mamma.
literally come to mamma. It also features the southern courtesy form voi instead of the standard lei. For instance, one of the characters says,
Vostro fratello vi sta aspettando.
your brother is waiting for you. Coming in at number 17 we have
L'amica geniale.
Now, although this is technically on Prime and Rai Italia and not Netflix, I couldn't help but share this one. L'Amica Geniale deserves a mention for its gripping narrative and rich linguistic nuances. Based on Elena Ferrante's much-loved Neapolitan novels, this 4-part TV series chronicles the intense and complex relationship between Lenu and Lilla as they grow up in a working-class neighborhood on the outskirts of Naples in the 1950s. Spanning 5 decades from childhood through to old age, this series explores themes of loyalty and betrayal, gender roles, education, motherhood, ambition, and the powerful bond of female friendship, all while capturing the changing cultural landscape of Italy from the 1950s to the 2000s. From a language learning perspective, this series is rather difficult. Lenu's voiceover is in standard Italian, but most of the dialogue is in the Neapolitan language, which can be hard to follow even for Italians who aren't used to it. That said, it's a great way to attune your ear to authentic regional speech and pick up some dialect words like
Dicere, dire,
to say,
faticare, lavorare,
to work,
più, più,
more,
sorra ma, mia sorella,
my sister,
appicciare, accendere,
to light or to turn on, and
che tiene, che hai?
meaning what's wrong. Are you enjoying this guide? Make sure you download your free PDF checklist, and you can do that by clicking on the link in the description below this video. Now let's move on and talk about how to find Italian movies on Netflix. All you need to do is head to the search bar and type in Italian. This will give you the option to browse by Italian language content, and it may even be featured in the title of a show or movie. Just a heads up though, Netflix libraries are not the same everywhere due to licensing agreements. This means that Italian movies available in your country might be different from those in Italy, and sometimes that must-watch movie everyone is talking about just won't show up in your local library. To avoid this problem, and what I do personally, is use a reliable VPN service to virtually change your location so you can enjoy all the Italian content you want, no matter where you are in the world. Now, a VPN is a helpful program that not only protects your actual location, but it also allows you to pretend you are based in another country online. Now, after you install a VPN, you can use it to hide your IP address and use one from another country instead, i.e. Italy. This way, if you find out that a show you're looking for isn't available in Australia or in the US, you can pretend to be in Italy. Setting up a VPN is really easy too, taking no more than 3 simple steps. To find out more, I've shared a link in the description below to help you get started by using a VPN and unlock a whole bunch of Italian content. I use it not only to access Netflix Italia, but also Rai, Mediaset, and other Italy-based services. Just check out the link in the description below this video. Okay, now for my bonus tip. How can you make the most out of watching Netflix? Now, there is nothing wrong with the so-called passive learning or passive viewing in this case. That is just watching a show as you would watch it in your native language. Maybe grabbing a snack or a cup of tea. It's relaxing, doesn't require too much effort, but it's still good language practice. However, for more effective language learning, it is better to interchange it at least occasionally with active viewing. Active learning is what we're going for here. Active viewing is watching the show and treating it as a lesson, hunting the useful vocabulary and grammar, translating and writing down new items, not too often though, and staying focused and alert. This type of viewing requires more effort and is harder to do and maintain over longer periods, especially after a long, stressful day at work. At the same time, it yields better results in terms of learning the Italian language and helps to improve your language skills much faster. Now, not every trip to the couch has to be an active learning session, but if you combine regular passive viewing with active viewing, your Italian, I assure you, will improve a lot quicker. Now, to continue your learning and to get a full list of all the Italian movies and shows featured here on Netflix and Prime and Rai Italia, make sure you click on the link in the description below. It also includes how to set up a VPN. If you enjoyed this lesson, then you'll love Intrepid Italian. my series of online self-paced video courses that break down everything you need to know about Italian using my unique 80-20 method. More details in the description below. Now, if you enjoyed this guide, make sure you take my free Italian level test right here. Plus, if you want to see how advanced your Italian is, see if you know these 15 Italian words. Just click on this lesson right here. In the meantime, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and turn on those notifications so you get an alert when I post more video lessons like this one. Until next time, un abbraccio. Ciao!